Dream had crashed. Finna get to it. Finna get to the business talk. What's up with it? About to hop straight in this business talk. Hey, Baz ass, appreciate that follow. Baz badass, appreciate the follow, homie. For the paper trade net. Show y'all what I'm looking at. Y'all what I'm looking at, man. Show you what I'm looking at. Make sure this mic on point when I get dropping these knowledge, wisdom. I really can't figure out how to use this. All right. Five. Yes. Got no. Whoa. Damn gaming tree. Ass be hurting. Peace. And now we got us something to go with. About to drop some gems. Sell station. Crazy. I keep it noted. Noted. Up 2.7. All right. First thing first, let me make sure I ain't forgetting nothing. Crazy. All right, all right, all right. Gotta get going. Trying to find a good pick. Why it's so hard to find a good regular ass pick? Regular pitcher. There we go. Oh, right there. We can work with that. We can work with that. Work with that. First thing first, my name is Mac. Go by Fly Ink Mac. Mac, I go by Fly Ink. I'm a tattoo artist at Fly Ink Tattoo Parlor or Fly Ink. First thing first, let's see what we gonna hit today. Do like a little recap of what I had did a couple days ago. Fly through it a little bit more. What's the word? Proficiently. All right. Got me some notes and everything. You know what I'm saying? Work it just like that. So what I'm finna do is I'm finna break down trademarking as best as I can break it down for a beginner all the way up to a more advanced person. Show you how to protect your brand, your business. By the end, hopefully, you feel a little bit more confident about doing this for yourself, no matter if you're a creator, a basketball player, any type of person that's in the entertainment or business world. You should be able to follow these guidelines, this infrastructure to better your business. So one of the main things you're gonna learn is how to secure your trademark, about the value of the trademark, and understanding things that you can add to the trademark to add value to it. All right. So a trademark is any word, phrase, symbol, design, or a combination of all of them that identifies your product or service, and it distinguishes it from other businesses, other products and services and stuff. It's how your customers, they recognize you. So it's just like, for example, let's say like Nike, Adidas, or any major company that you can think of, McDonald's, Burger King, everybody has a logo, a trademark. Even if it's not a logo, they have a trademark, or they logo and their trademark can be just their name. One example which I already have on the screen is Kobe Bryant. Kobe Bryant has a plethora of different logos and trademarks, word marks, and logos. That's what they're called. Usually, when it's a name, it's considered a word mark. logos, I believe, are logos, but they're under word mark. Yeah, so everything is word mark, but you could do either one. So when you're doing like a basic trademark, as you can see, some of these right here, the ones that are just names, these are just your standard trademarks. Standard trademarks under the goods and services and that nature. This is more of a logo trademark, logo and word trademark. Signatures, all this stuff can be your trademarks. There's one more thing that I was gonna say. One more thing. It's a lot of them, as you can see. So basically, what this does is it helps you establish a brand presence and stand out from everyone else. As you can see, Kobe Bryant trademarked his name. He turned himself into a business. When they talk about turning yourself into a business, this is a prime example of turning yourself into a business. We're gonna dive real deep into all of these other things like the company, the trademarks, all this stuff in that nature. You trade? You said I trade? What's up with it, Rico? I know a little bit about trade. I know a little bit about it. I ain't advanced, but I know about a little bit of everything. Long trading, short, mid, just standard stocks. Can you hear me? Yeah, I know a little bit about trading. I've traded before. Some of everything. I traded forex. I didn't traded regular stocks. Some of everything. What's up with it, Rico? You trade? If you trade, let me know what you trade. I said I trade a little bit of everything. I've done it before. I'm not trading at this moment, but I do trade. You know, not at this exact moment, but I definitely do trade. Is my mic better now? Let me know if my mic better. My voice low? Shouldn't be. How about now? Let me check it. Trying to get it right for you. Go on, get it right. Mic check, mic check. Mic check, mic check. Nah, it sound good, bro. Yeah, y'all do trade now. Traded stocks, long, short, midterm, um, forex. I've done some of that before. Trading like USD, things in that nature. I'm not trading at this moment. Usually when I'm trading, it's pretty simple. Like this ain't no financial advice, but if I'm trading, I trade like long term holds. I have my long term plays, and then you have your short terms. Usually, like if I'm doing like something short and everything, then I try to miss like your options trades, like some calls and puts and stuff like that in that nature. Mostly like calls, but primarily I'm reading the chat. You can't hear me talking to you. Primarily, I do long trading. So like I invest, not just long hold, like SPY or something like that, or just different other stuff. Like I got my sons and them, they got stocks and stuff. You know, man, your ass must be deaf or something, cause I know damn well you can hear me. I'm talking directly to you. Unless your ass just playing, man, you gotta be playing. Yeah, your ass gotta be playing for sure, for sure. Yeah, your ass playing, man. Yeah, I trade though. Keep it simple. Yeah, something wrong with your phone. You want to turn your volume up because I'm definitely talking. I don't know what that mean. You had to educate me on what that mean. You know, I'm a little bit older, so I ain't really too hipped on the short words. But yeah, long term trade mostly. That's the best thing for me. I do that. My son do it. Got him like some Microsoft, some Apple stocks. Me, I did some of everything. I did calls primarily and long term trade, like but I'm not too heavy in anything anymore. But I definitely will be back in it sooner or later. But yeah, back to what I was doing for sure, for sure. I'm up in here, but let's get back to this. So basically, trademarking is a great way to protect your business from any copycats. It's designed to help you to stand out or distinguish yourself from other businesses and stop others from copycatting. It's like Nike, McDonald's, any major company. It basically just it sets your business up to where you won't have to worry about somebody else starting it up the same name as yours. Like you won't have to worry about nobody getting the same name as yours at all. Yeah, you do. Shoot me a message, bro. Shoot me a message. Shit, I'm talking about business right now. You hop up in the Discord, talk to me about trading and shit. But yeah, they definitely protect your brand identity, not just your logo. Appreciate it. Appreciate it. For sure. Same here. Same here. But yeah, if you want to talk stocks and everything, hop up in the Discord. Like once I get done doing all this stuff, I'm gonna hop back on like stocks, but it's gonna be real briefly. It's concerning like businesses and stuff like that. If you got a business or something and you want to set it up, or if you need help setting up a business or anything, like it's the best thing I'm gonna recommend for you with everything that I'm gonna be talking about, especially if it's something that you want to be national someday or just a major brand in the United States. You definitely gonna want to tap in or everything that I'm finna talk about, even if it's just a trading business or something, you know. But trademarks, they give you exclusive rights to that name. It adds business. It adds it adds value to your business. You can license trademarks. You can sell it or franchise it. So this is a portion of how businesses like McDonald's, uh, Chick-fil-A, or any of these other companies can franchise how they franchise or go about licensing their names to different companies. Let's say like if you was a franchisee and you pay like a franchise fee and everything, a portion of that franchise fee and that royalty has something to do with the trademarking rights. So basically, the best thing that you can do when you're starting off and you're getting a business, save your money and invest into your trademark. Now the trademark is not it's easy, but it ain't that easy. It ain't as easy as they make it seem. Like as far as establishing a trademark, getting a trademark. Once you get everything started up, it's easy to maintenance it. You just can't lose focus. Got to stay locked in and pay attention to everything. All right, let me look at these notes because I got a whole bunch of notes. So basically, I just went over, trademarking, any word, phrase, symbol, design, and a combination of identities for your goods and services to distinguish them from others. It's how customers recognize you. You can think Think of like Nike, Adidas, McDonald's, Coca-Cola, or Fly Ink. You know what I'm saying? Fly Ink Tattoo Parlor. Trademarks protect the identity, not just your logo, name, slogan, colors, even sounds can be a trademark. So if you didn't know, your sounds can be a trademark. When we talking about sounds and stuff like that, think of who is it? Liongate with the line with the roar, all that different type of stuff. Or think of like doom doom doom. Who's it? Or Yahoo. All them is trademark sounds. So you know what I'm saying. So trademarks is for word marks, logos, sound marks. That's the best way to say it. Names, colors, all the different type of stuff. You can trademark distinct colors to your company, like let's say McDonald's with the red and the yellow, with the art, the M, all this stuff is a trademark. That's their intellectual property. The reason why you should trademark is to protect your brand from copycats. It gives you exclusive rights to use the mark nationwide once it is registered. It adds business value. You can license, franchise, and even sell it. I know I said this again, but I'm saying it again because got a little interrupted. It helps you build customer trust, preventing confusion in the market. So what it does is it helps you stand out and prevent confusion from like the same name issues and stuff like that. Okay. Before you file it, the best thing I recommend is brainstorm. You wanna brainstorm, make sure it stands out, it's unique, it's not generic or too descriptive. So you want the best advice that I can give is if you ever deciding to get a trademark, just sit down on a piece of paper, write down probably like 10 names or something like that. Once you write these 10 names down, 10, 20 names of companies that you names that you think you want to name your company. Once you do that, then you gotta go on this USPT.gov, search for the names that you have in there. Make sure nobody else already is using these names or have these names. If somebody else is using a name, throw that shit out the window. Move to the next name because you don't want to have any difficulties or any hard times trying to get your trademark unless you're just a, a very well known and prominent figure. Then I'd be like, you know what I'm saying? You could just go ahead and try to get that trademark because at that moment, which this is a little bit further down the line, but people who are already established can go about this a different way if they run into them type of issues based on like history and things of that nature. Uh, yeah, you basically want to do a trademark search through this USPTO database. Check like domains, check social media handles for conflicts, search your state, records, search Google, all them things in that nature. The goal is to avoid picking a name that's something too close or that is already existing. So basically, as you can see, one of the things that you can trademark is your name. Trademark your sons, your daughter's names, your name, your daddy's name, granny, whoever the hell you want trademark name. Especially if they are, let's say, like famous and you want to protect these names. Like if you got names like the Kardashians or something like that, I believe that's also a trademark name. It is a trademark name. So what that does is it establishes your business as, how can I say this? A registered trademark. It establishes a business as a registered trademark, federally recognized. Um, moving forward, after you decide your trademark name, you have to decide your ownership. So ownership is basically going to depend on if you want it in your personal name, if you want it in your LLC, or your incorporation, or your let me think, nonprofit foundation, whatever the case may be. If you want it in any of them things, your LLC, your own name, your corporation, or your charitable company, you can't have it in you can have it in any one of them. Um, Basically, it's just like this, like on the screen. As you can see, we got Kobe Bryant. I thought I'd start with Kobe Bryant. You know, it's the best way to start because he had all his business together for sure before before he passed passed on and stuff like that. But basically, as you can see, he trademarked his name, Kobe Bryant. This is concerning like clothing. Let's say like he had his name, Kobe Bryant, on clothes, shirts, tops, skirts, anything in that nature. Classes that they were on it. These are the categories that you have to have as well when you're filing for certain things. Sometimes it can be a little bit more simple than this, but it all just depends on how complex you need your trademark to be. As you can see, when it says the owners, it says Kobe Bryant LLC. We're gonna move. We're gonna get to the companies as well. This is a very strategic move when it comes to being an athlete, an entertainer. Uh, I'm gonna be a little bit more descriptive when I say this, so people understand it. This right here is extremely important when you do, let's say, like YouTube, Twitch, TikTok, you're on Twitter, anything that's internet based. Any of these accounts right here, like let's say like this is Kobe Bryant's Instagram account, this is his Facebook account. This right here is his website. See, it says Kobe. Uh, Usually, like if you're getting a trademark, it's a requirement to have a website. If you don't have a website, a traditional website, you could always use your social media accounts, which that is still a website. You know, you get a URL, Instagram.com/Kobe Bryant. The purpose of the is to show proof, or in trademark terminologies, is to show a specimen of something that you already have to verify your trademark to get it registered when you're going through the process. So basically, when you trademarking, depending on the type of business that you're doing, let's get back to the trademark. Let's say some easy. All right, cool. Let's say you starting a clothing business, and you got your name or your logo, however it's gonna be. Either one of these are class 25. These are for clothing, um, clothing, shirts, woo doo doo, all the different type of stuff. Main thing, you want to get your class. If you're doing it online, I believe you have to add like class 35 as well for online merchandise and to cover your website. So these things right here is a part. This right here is a part of filing your trademark. The cost for this trademark can be anywhere from $250 per class to $350 per class. So what that means is that for each class that you add to your trademark, there's going to be a $250 to $350 cost per class. So the more classes you add, the more it's gonna cost. If you're just starting off and you're just doing like something like this and everything, it might say 350 plus your fees and everything. So a good idea is to have, let's say, anywhere from $500 to $1,000 set aside. Like the best the best thing that I can say is as long as you have proof, like websites, products, anything in that nature, Instagram handles, social media handles with your your name on it or the brand name that you want trademark, you can go about setting this up yourself, or you can go about having a um a lawyer take care of it for you. Or in this case, we're gonna call it the help. You're gonna have your help take care of that for you. It's pros and it's cons on both sides. The pros I would say with doing it yourself is that you can mitigate your costs and it'll cost a little bit less when you do it yourself. But when you're doing it yourself, you have to be very conscious of everything that you enter in these applications and everything that you do. So it's always best to do your own due diligence and research before you file something on your own. Because don't do it correctly, you can end up costing yourself a whole lot of money or doing something wrong, which is even worse. Then you have to start all over. Uh, Even with a lawyer, the pros is that you got help, little bit smoother process because sometimes you don't have to worry about uh any mistakes or anything. But technically, that's not true because even attorneys, even lawyers make mistakes, and sometimes you have to overlook what your help is doing for you and make sure that it's being handled correctly and it's what you want, because you don't want somebody doing something on behalf of you and then it's not exactly what you want, or you look back at 5 years later like I did and be like, oh, this is not exactly what I wanted. I needed something a little bit different. At the end of the day, everybody want they could. I'm gonna say it like how I said it with the Michael Parsons and the Jerry Jones and all that stuff. Everybody want they cut. A lot of times, some people want they cut more than they want to help you and do their stuff right. But moving forward, for a trademark, an attorney is not required, but you can use an attorney. LegalZoom has attorney help. I wouldn't recommend it all the time. It's a hit or miss. I would say, if you can, try to educate yourself on figuring stuff out, and if not, if you don't have like someone close or family attorney that works with I believe this is commercial law, then really do due diligence. Need any references or recommendations or any attorneys, anything in that nature, always reach out to me, hit me in my DMs to join the Discord. And I gladly send you some referrals for people who I use, especially if you're in the US or in Texas or you know anywhere in the USA. Um, what's next? So let's say you get everything done. After you file all this stuff, then you got to go through a process. You go through a process. Let me see if I can find one that's already registered instead of pending. Man, that's cool that he got all this stuff done before he left, and he was able to continue with him and his wife after. Basically, all this stuff is public information. Here's a example of the process. Usually, when you're getting trademarks and stuff in that nature, it can take anywhere from 6 to 9 months. I wouldn't look on the low side. I would always say look on the far side because sometimes it do take a little minute for them to get to you and get everything done and stuff. But as long as you make it through that process without any issues, you'll get to this step right here. Which once you get right here, this means that you finished. Everything is registered. Now there are different types of trademarks. But I mean different types of ways that you can trademark something. You have what's called a intent to use trademark. Intent to use trademark mean that you could just hold it until you are ready to use it for commercial purposes. And then you got in commerce use trademarks. In commerce is when you're already using, you're already monetizing, making profit off of it, and you just want to go on, protect it, and get a trademark. So that's what this right here stands for. That IC. If it's not in commerce, then it's gonna be a ITU. Yeah. With that being said, let's move on to my next bullet point, which is you wait for like your office actions, which I said there. Your office actions will be you'll wait like 6 months before you hear anything back from everybody. If there's any issues, they're gonna reach out to you. If you do it yourself, they're gonna hit you by email. If you do it through attorneys, you still might get an email from your attorney, have you sign things and stuff. The main thing is just making sure that you have all the proper documents to get through the examination phase. Once you pass that phase, then you just waiting, making sure that you don't run into any complications with anybody else that has them trademarks, or and yeah, anybody else that has anything similar to the trademarks that could flag or alert it in the system. As long as you don't have any issues and you type in here and you don't see nothing pop up, but if you don't see anything pop up when you type in a name, then you're pretty much good to go. If you see things pop up, then it's that are live, then you might run into some complications depending on what you're doing. All right. Once you pay for that trademark, let's say you got a trademark and you paid for one class to trademark, let's say your website, and it was a total of let's say $500 to $700. What that does is it secures that name for the next 5 years, and it's pretty much simple. You don't have to worry about nothing else. The only thing you have to do is worry about when your 5 year mark comes up, around your fifth and your 6 year mark. Then you have to go through a process called trademark maintenance. So what that is so your trademark doesn't expire or go abandon, or you don't lose it. You have to file like forms, like a Section 8, Section 9, and what that does is show that you're still using it and that nobody else can use it, and it's just a way to keep protecting you even further and keep your trademark alive. Once that's done, I believe you'll go through another 5 years, and then around your ninth and 10th year, you will file. I believe it's a Section 15, if I'm not mistaken. Around your it's a Section 8 or 9, again, that you will file around your ninth year, and I believe, if I'm not mistaken, let me double check. Let me double check. Ain't go wrong with double checking. Yeah, I believe it's a Section 8 and 15. Section 15 is signed. Yeah. Once you yeah, let's open that back up because I'm gonna need that. Once you reach your 10th year, you will still file your 8 or 9, but then you can also file like your Section 15, which says that, hey, ain't nobody contested basically. And when you file them, there is a $250 fee to $350 fee per class. So just keep that in mind. If you have a lot of classes, it's gonna be whatever the cost that you paid when you got it done. You're gonna pay that price per class. Um, it's best to make sure that when you do your trademark, your first trademark, you have everything correct. Because the worst thing that you can do is get a trademark, have it set up, and then next thing you know, you gotta file a new trademark. You don't want to have to worry about filing a new trademark just to have something else covered when you can have everything covered. Once that trademark is secure and you have it filed and all this stuff like that, then you can actively like monitor and enforce like cease and desists or monitor just markets and everything to make sure nobody is using your name and go about it in a legal aspect, but have a stronger case at making sure that nobody uses your trademark and that you stop them from using. Common mistakes to avoid is choosing a name that's too descriptive, like John Doe. That's something that's like too descriptive or best pizza shop. Not checking existing trademarks. Forgetting to maintain and renew your trademark. Using the wrong trademark symbol. Like there's a difference between symbols. I see a lot of people online, especially on Instagram, they be using the incorrect symbols. What I mean by that is there's a difference between a registered trademark and a unregistered trademark and a standard mark and a sound mark. The difference between a unregistered trademark or unregistered trademark just means that you didn't file it, and it's not a. It's just you still have the trademark, and that you this is your that you. Goddamn, I'm stumbling on my words. You still have your trademark, but basically what this is saying is that you're notifying people that you're using this or you have the intent to get this registered as a trademark. A registered trademark is when you have the little R with the circle in it. It shows that this is a fairly recognized trademark. Same thing with your sound marks. That'd be like SM. Um, I believe so. I think it's something else that's SM too. I think it's standard mark. Service mark. Yeah, so yeah, but that's not nothing that's you ain't nothing that's too detrimental, and then you really gotta you can add it to your services. You have a service, something that you're offering. All right, so closing out everything, trademarks are not just paper. It's about protecting your brand identity and your business's future. Whether you starting with a clothing line, podcast, tattoo shop, tech company, YouTube channel, Kick, Purple Purple app channel, um, Twitch, it gives you a legal shield that you need to grow with confidence. So for a lot of these streamers that I see that are coming into some money and really growing their brands, there's no reason why you shouldn't want to have your stuff trademarked to protect your business and your brand, especially if you're doing business with major corporations, big businesses like let's say like Netflix, Amazon Prime, Hulu, any business. It's just take care of your business, man. Business first. Like you always gotta invest this shit back into yourself, into your company. You're gonna bet on somebody, bet on yourself. Don't look at it as a loss. It's definitely not a loss. It don't make no sense to be making millions of dollars and you ain't got your business all the way intact. To make millions of dollars and you ain't got your name trademarked. To make billions of dollars and you ain't got your content copyrighted. We ain't gonna get on that chip, but we gonna get there. Hundreds of thousands of dollars and shit like that. Like you wanna lock in. Alright, what's next? What's next? Let's see what else. I covered the trademarking. I think last after I get done going over all this stuff, I'm going to cover like the business company side. So see if I left anything out. Yeah, trademark is just to protect and monetize your brand. Okay, got a little bit more. So, as far as business assets, trademarks can be licensed, franchised, sold, or collateralized for loans. That I left out. And just help build customer trust. All right, so this is how your trademark can build value and money. With your licensing, it allows you to use your brand name or your logo for a fee, like how Nike does with clothing manufacturers, or let's say like Subway, Taco Bell, all these companies do with McDonald's. They do with like franchisees, license their name rights, their trademarks to the franchisees and everything in that nature, so they can use the name. Uh, Franchising. Build a repeatable business model where the trademark is the centerpiece. It basically go back on what I was saying, like with McDonald's arches and stuff. As far as collateral, banks and investors treat trademarks as an intellectual property asset for increase. I'm gonna say that again because I was out of there. Banks and investors treat trademarks as intellectual property assets that increase your company's valuation. So, trademarks do increase your company's valuation. Uh, Sales, a strong trademark can be sold outright. Big brands often buy smaller trademarks for millions. Revenue protection, let's say you keep your competitors from stealing your name. You don't lose customers or credibility. As y'all know, everybody who does know me, like being that I was working at a company called Fly Ink Tattoo Parlor, dealing with like a credibility issues, confusion, things in that nature. With me going on vacation for about 24 months and coming back in 2018 for my 2 year vacation and stuff, we noticed a lot of people that were using our name illegally, misusing it. And the more you learn, the better you get in the business world. Every day is just like having children. Every day is a learning process. Like you're gonna keep learning. Never stop learning how to be a parent. Every day is something new. And your business, like the best thing that I can say with people that starting businesses, it's not easy. It's definitely gonna be hard mentally, physically, emotionally, but you gotta want it. I think I told my partner this. It's like look at it like this: if your ass can get the fuck up and work a job, you can get the fuck up and work for yourself. If you can get the fuck up every day and smoke a blunt or drink some drink or something like this, some liquor and everything every day, like it's medication, you can do the same thing for your business. You just gotta lock in, and same way you smoke weed or you drink or whatever that addiction is that you gotta make your business your addiction. You gotta put all that passion into that business. If that's what you love doing, that's your purpose. You gotta move with purpose. Like you just gotta tap in all that same way that you might smoke weed every day or you might drink every day. You gotta be addicted to that company like that. Rain, sleet, snow. It's gonna be days when shit you might not have enough how can I say this? You might not have, might be tired, might be going through a rough month, but you got to keep pushing. You got to keep your head up, push through it, figure out new ways to get everything going. Even if even if the worst of the worst happen, you got to keep pushing through it and figure out how you gonna move forward. Uh, I think I went over this. You renew it every 5 to 6 years. After you renew it for 5 to 6 years, the first time, then after that, it's every 10 years. But if I'm not mistaken, after you get to that ninth and 10th years, every 10 years, it might be that way. One of the, but even if it's every 5 to 6 years, and after that, 1 or 2 times for the 5 to 6 years, every 10 years. You use TM on your name until your trademark is approved. So if you see stuff with TM on it, usually they're either letting everybody know that this is a trademark, or they intend to get it registered, or they're getting it registered and they're just waiting on it to finish the process. Remember, your trademark is only as strong as you're willing to defend it. It's not just a legal document, it's income generated business asset. Alright, let's move on. We're gonna move on to copyrights. Now that we covered the copyrights, let's talk about that. What they protect, how to register them, and how they can generate value for creators and businesses. I think that's the most important part. Where is it at? One of the most important parts outside of trademarking. The second. All right, so what's a trademark? First off, before I move to this what's a copyright? Before I move to what's a copyright, the correct website to get to trademarking, to make sure you don't get scammed or anything, is uspto.gov. All right, now we can move on. Copyright.gov is the official website. This is the official government website. Let's move on. What is a copyright? A copyright is the legal right to protect your original works of authorship once they are fixed in a tangible form. What that means is once it's in a tangible form, it can be copyrighted. So that applies to books, poems, lyrics, articles, scripts, recordings, artists. I said artists. I mean artwork, paintings, photography, films, TV shows, podcasts, videos, websites, building designs like architectures. If you're building stuff, unlike the trademarks, which protect your brand, the copyrights protect your creative expressions. The copyrights protect your content. Automatic protection versus registration. Automatically, the moment something is created, you naturally have copyrights. Everyone has copyrights for their creations. But to officially register it and have the backing behind you to where you can file for like infringement rights, if somebody's monetizing off of something, you have to copyright it. You have to copyright it. So automatic protection. The moment you create and record, write, or save your work is technically copyrighted. Federally, through the U.S. Copyright Office, creates a public record of your copyright.
It lets you file lawsuits and claim statutory damages. Strengthens ownership proof if challenged. This is the official website. And right here is, where is it at? I got it up here. A little bit. Search for Kobe Bryant. Right here is the example. I could have sworn I put in Kobe Bryant. Right here is an example of copyrights that Kobe Bryant had before he passed away. Um, Basically, what this does is lets you file a lawsuit and claim statutory damages, strengthens your ownership proof if challenged, and it grants you an exclusive right to reproduce the work, distribute copies, perform, display publicly, create derivative works, adaptations, remixes, sequels. Others must get permission. Permission is basically they gotta license it from you to use your work legally. Once you have the copyright, legally they will not be able to use your work if you have it set up right. And if they are, you can easily get it taken down without any issues at all. Outside of the like the fair use things, like fair use things, if somebody, let's say like somebody was just like doing some educational piece or reacting to some in an educational manner or something, I believe. Um, you pay a filing fee for these copyrights. I believe is anywhere from 50 to 100 and some dollars, depending on the complexity of the copyright. You can file for one piece of work or content, or you can file for a large catalog of content. You can file for a whole mixtape, a whole album, or a single. Same thing with art projects and anything else. Once you do all that, you're gonna receive your registration. Um, move to there. Basically, with copyrights, you got assignments and you got work for hire. Assignment, basically somebody could just transfer you the copyrights from you, from them to you, or from you to them. However y'all want to do it. Let's say if you selling music rights to a label, or selling music rights to a song or video or anything in that nature, you would transfer it to them if you already have the copyrights. Or if, let's say, somebody's making something for you or doing something for you, like let's say making you a beat or making you a song. If they're transferring the rights over to you as work for hire means that you paid them a certain amount and they did a service for you. So if they create something for you as a employee or under a written contract, the employer or the client owns the copyright, not you. If you create something as an employee or under a written contract, the employer or the client owns the copyright, not you. So if you pay somebody for a beat to make a beat for you, make sure you get them to sign that paperwork over for you to transfer it, to show that it's yours, so you don't later on have to deal with no issues if you blow up and they send up your talking about that they didn't do a work for hire agreement, they did a lease, they try to run that type of game on you or something. The best practice is to always use contracts, work for hire agreements, licensing agreements to clarify the ownership. This ain't Africa, man. Your ass ain't in Africa. We ain't doing no handshake agreements. You know what I'm saying? Have your business right. The duration of copyright. For works created after 1978, the expiration is the life of the author plus 70 years. So however the hell long your ass live plus 70 years is the duration of the copyright. That's a long ass time. For work made for hire or anonymous works, it's 95 years for the publication or 125 years for the creation. Whichever come first, whichever expires first. How copyrights build value and make money? You got licensing, just like trademarks. You can sell or grant permission to others for a fee. Music and movies, things of that nature. You got royalties, collect money whenever your work is used, like radio play, streaming, TV, etc. Assignments, sell your copyrights outright. Publishing houses often buy like book rights. Derivative works, turn your creation into spin-offs, books, movies, video games, TV shows. Publishing or collecting agencies. So that like that's like when we get into like the music side of things, where you got like ASCAP, BMI, MLC, Sound Exchange, uh, Song Trust. Let's see. Let me pull it up real quick so you can get an idea of it. Got ASCAP, got BMI, we got Sound Exchange, we got Song Trust. This stuff right here is like $1 million worth of game, man. For real, for real. $1 billion worth of game. You know, we're gonna say $1 billion worth of game right here. Because you can take what you want to do with it and you can thrive. It's all on you. Don't say nobody ain't never told you. For all my indie artists. And then I'm missing one. It's another one I'm missing. ASCAP, BMI. Let's say like United Masters. Let's say like DistroKid. Then I'm finna go into the breakdown. Oh shit. Then I'm gonna go into the breakdown and the TuneCore. Baby. All right, man. So basically, we're gonna look at it like this right here. These are your distribution companies. So first, let's say you got like DistroKid, you got United Masters, you got TuneCore, you got CD Baby, and then I think you got damn, what's the other one? SoundCloud. I believe so. Yeah, SoundCloud. It's like one of them. I'm disappearing. All right, so these right here is your distros for music. These are distros that you can push your music out to our platforms. Got DistroKid, United Masters, TuneCore, SoundCloud, CD Baby, and these get your music out to the platforms. Some help you do promotion and a little bit of other things. They help you collect some royalties, not all your royalties. Um, these platforms right here do not copyright. I'm gonna say that again. These platforms, all of these platforms, do not copyright your music for you. You have to copyright it yourself. You got Sound Exchange. Sound Exchange is another organization that helps you collect royalties. Same with Song Trust. Same with ASCAP and BMI. None of these help you collect royalties. I want to clarify that. So let's move on. What was we at? It's a lot of game for the musicians. As far as books, you got publishers and distros as well. Art, you got the same thing, galleries and licensing platforms. Enforcement. If someone uses your work without permission, you can send a cease and desist with copyrights as well, or you can issue a DMCA takedown notice for online infringement. You can file a lawsuit, possibly if your work is federally registered. My closing notes is copyrights is about protecting the value of your creativity, from music and video to let's say like stuff, software, lectures. Copyrights ensures you control who can use, perform, or profit from your work. It's one of the most powerful tools for creators to turn ideas into lasting wealth. What's next? Now we can get down to the business, a little bit more in depth. We're gonna finish this off with the business stuff, and by the time we get to the end of this, you should be able to have you a full empire set up in the making. And all you gotta do is put the work in, lock all the way the fuck in. You lock all the way the fuck in, can't nobody tell you shit. All you gotta do is lock all the way the fuck in. Won't nobody be able to tell you a damn thing. Okay, so let me go and set this up. All right, first things first. How do I want to go about it? We're gonna talk about the EIN first. All right, so now we're gonna go LLC. Let's go LLC. So, all right, now that we covered this trademark and copyright, let's talk about the foundation. Most small businesses today are, let's say the LLC. The understanding what an LLC is, how it works, is critical for protecting yourself legally, managing taxes, and building long-term value. I'll say that again. Now that we have covered trademarks and copyrights, let's talk about the foundation of most small businesses today, the LLC. Understanding what an LLC is and how it works is critical for protecting yourself legally, managing taxes, and building long-term wealth. Now, when it comes to LLCs, I want to put this little disclaimer out here. This is not financial advice. This is not business advice. I'm just doing everything that I'm doing is for educational purposes and experience. I'm just sharing my experiences. When it comes to LLCs, everybody is different. The LLC is based on your business's financial status. I say it's based on your business's financial status. It's based on how well your business is doing. How much cash flow you have coming into your business is going to determine the status that you want to be in with your LLC. Me personally, it's like this. If your ass ain't making over $100,000 or at least a decent amount of money that's damn near that high or close to, then you want to start from the basics, man. Like, I wouldn't elect myself as an S corp, and I don't have no income coming in my LLC. Shit don't make sense. But who am I? No, just little ignorant person. But anyways, what is the LLC? The LLC stands for a limited liability company. It's a business structure that protects your personal assets, house, cars, savings from business debt and lawsuits. It combines legal protection of a corporation with the flexibility of a sole proprietorship and a partnership. Proprietorship. Why do you want to form an LLC? It gives you liability protection to a certain extent. If your business gets sued, some creditors can't go after your personal assets. It all just depends. Like, I'm talking on everything at a bird level, but this stuff can get a whole lot deeper. And just because it says one thing doesn't mean it's necessarily all fact and all truth, because where it's a way, it's a will. And the main thing when it comes to setting up an LLC is to separate yourself from business and personal. Business is business, personal is personal. Business is never personal. Separate your business from your personal shit. Don't mix the two. You'll be alright. LLC does give you a little bit of tax flexibility as a sole prop. You can choose to be taxed as a sole prop, a partnership, a S corp, or a C corp. Like I said, your ass ain't making no decent amount of cash flow, and you ain't got no decent cash flow coming in that goddamn LLC. You shouldn't even be looking at a S corp, C corp. Like, you just want to keep it basic, starting off, then grow. Grow with your cash flow. Grow with your goddamn cash flow, man. Grow with your cash flow. For real. Credibility. Having an LLC after your name makes your business looks more professional. Having an LLC after your name makes your business look more professional. So, like I was saying with the Kobe Bryant, as you can see, the name of his LLC was his name. He turned himself into a business. That's the part of turning yourself into a business. You get your company name, like you set up your company name in your name, LLC, EIN, same thing. We're gonna get to there in a minute. We still on LLC right now. Let me go back before we get carried away. Let me get to it before we get a little bit off track. Ownership structure. Easy to split ownership among partners called members. Wealth building. LLCs can own assets like trademarks, copyrights, real estate, vehicles, and even investments. That applies to stocks, crypto, bank accounts, insurance, all that stuff. How to form an LLC. You choose the state that you want to form it in. Usually a lot of times they're gonna say it's best to form it in the state that you're in. I recommend that if you do it anywhere else, that you get some legal advice, real deal legal advice, because things can get complex, and you don't want to put your things can get complex, and you don't want to put yourself in a bind. Never want to put yourself in a bind setting up a business. Hey, once you choose the formation you want to name your LLC, it must be unique and include LLC or limited liability company. So it's like how you see right here, it says Kobe Bryant LLC, limited liability company, Delaware, USA. Once you do that, you want to file your articles of organization with the state. Right after you do all that, you're gonna file your articles of organization with the state. Then you want to appoint a registered agent, depending on where it's at. It can be a person or a service that you receive from for see the legal papers. You want to create your operating agreement on how the LLC is running, ownership, profit splits, voting. Then you want to get an EIN from the IRS, like a social security number for your business. The EIN is gonna be like your social security number for your business. From there, you can open up your bank accounts. Never mix your business and your personal money. Like I said, we're gonna move to the EIN right after this. LLC ownership of intellectual property. You can assign your trademark and copyrights to your LLC, making your business own assets instead of your personal own assets. So everything that I was talking about prior with your trademarks, your LLCs, all this stuff, you can assign it to your LLC. When you get an LLC, anything that was in your personal name, like a trademark or a copyright, you can transfer it to your LLC into your LLC's name. The best way I would say to do it starting off is if you already have your LLC, purchase these things in your LLC's name. Because if you don't, then you have to assign it. That's the only thing. If you don't, you have to assign it. They go for like trademarks and copyrights. What that does is it strengthens your legal protection and increases the business value if you ever have to sell it or franchise it. This is an example right here. If your LLC owns your trademark brand, the mark becomes part of the company's balance sheet and can be licensed, sold, or collateralized. Taxes and money flow. LLC, as everybody know these days, pass through taxation. LLC profits pass. Regularly, the owners are reported on personal tax returns of, like you want to be careful with when you pass and stuff because you still have to have everything legally structured correctly to do this type of stuff. Like you just can't just fucking pass it to yourself. You have to have it legally set up to do everything right. You do have an option to be taxed as an S corp to pay yourself a salary plus dividends, which can help you with some self-employment taxes. It's not legal advice. This is just educational information. Like I said with them S corps and electing for the S corps, if you're doing that stuff, make sure you got a lot of income coming into your business or a decent amount of income to where it makes sense. LLCs can deduct business expenses, rent, equipment, travel, marketing, even parts of your home office or your commercial offices. This is how your LLC builds value and wealth. Asset protection. It shields your personal wealth, owning IP, trademarks, copyrights, patents, websites. All that can be put into your LLC to increase the business's value. Real estate. What else? Insurance. Funds, stocks, crypto. All that stuff can be put up in there. Attracting investors. It's easier to bring in new partnerships and shareholders. Generational wealth. You can transfer your LLC's ownership to your heirs or place it inside a trust for family legacy. You know, that's something we'll have to talk about another time, a little bit later down the line. I ain't gonna get too deep in all that. But multiple businesses, one LLC can own multiple sub LLCs. It can get real complex, but we ain't getting into all that. The common mistakes to avoid is mixing your business with your personal. Not filing reports, annual reports, or paying state fees, taking care of your taxes, thinking LLC means automatic tax savings. It don't. It depends on how you elect to be taxed and how you have everything set up, how you moving inside of your company. But getting to assign IP, trademarks, and copyrights to your LLC. If you want something in your LLC, like I say, you gotta assign it. All the assignment forms is gonna be on these websites. Your USTP, USPT, O.gov, and your copyright.gov. Now, LLC is just a piece of paperwork. It's not. Goddamn. The LLC is not just a piece of paperwork. It's the foundation of your business empire. It protects your personal assets, gives you tax flexibility, allows you to legally own and monetize intellectual property. If trademark and copyrights are the brick, the LLC is the foundation that holds your business structure together. All right, now we can move to the EIN. You can get this before or after you're up. It's best to get it after, because when you go on there and you filing your EIN, it's gonna ask you about your if it's a LLC or not. So if you can already have your LLC ahead of time, it's even better. Once you have your LLC in place, the next step is getting your EIN. The EIN is the key to opening your banking, filing your taxes, running your business properly. Let's break this down. What it is, what you need, and how to get it done. First step is you're going to go to irs.gov, www.irs.gov. This is where you're going to go. This is the official website. Make sure it's the official website because people do be scamming. And you don't want to enter any of your personal information in there and get scammed. This is the accurate website, the only website for the irs.gov to set up an EIN. Usually when you're applying for it, you have to do it during business hours. After hours, they're usually closed. Let's see. You got to do it during business hours when you're applying. So it's 7 a.m. to 10 p.m. Your EIN is an employee identification number, also called your federal tax number, federal tax ID number. It's 9 unique numbers issued by the IRS to identify your business. It's just like your Social Security, but a Social Security number for your business. I'm gonna say that again. My EIN is your Social Security number for your business. What this EIN does, it helps you open your bank accounts. It helps you hire employees, set up your payroll, filing federal state taxes, applying for business credit and loans, applying for business licenses, permits, protecting your personal Social Security number. You can either use your EIN instead of your Social Security number on forms and contracts. Let's see, who need an EIN? Any LLC, partnership, corporation, charitable foundation, nonprofit, for-profit, sole proprietors who want to hire employees, open business bank accounts under their business name, separate their personal from their business finances. An EIN is free. This shit don't cost. So if anybody charging you for EIN on here, if you this what I'm gonna say. If you go to a website and you think you went to this website and it's talking about you getting charged, Your ass getting scammed. You need to get the hell off that website, get on the right website, because on here it's free. Um, Once you file it, you have to be very mindful on making sure that it's gonna ask you a question on there once you get done filing it. If you want to have it mailed to you, or if you want to have it a PDF in a PDF form. The best thing that I can say, the easiest way to get it is in a PDF form, because it's gonna be, you're gonna have it right then and there and be able to access it, use it however you want. Here ever go sign up your business bank and all this stuff. If you have to wait for the paper, it's gonna take a little time. I think it could take up to 2 weeks or something like that. Why the fuck you wanna wait to get something in the mail that your ass can get in the PDF and print out? Make it make sense, man. But if you skip this screen or you do not have it set up, you're gonna have to go through a hell of a process to try to get that, or to get them to send it out. It's gonna take some time and it's stressful. Don't nobody want to put up with that shit. Uh, on that EIN, you're gonna need your business name. So either your personal name or your company's name. You're gonna need your social security number when you signing up for an EIN. You're gonna need a business address. This could be, depending on what you're doing, it could be your business or your home address. Some people have businesses in their home and they use their home as a business address. It's perfectly fine, but it's always good to have your own business address. The type of LLC or the type of entity that you're gonna be using, it's gonna be on there. It's gonna ask if you setting up a corporation, a LLC, a trust, or a nonprofit, for profit. Um, Once you complete it, like I said, it's gonna come in a PDF. Um, let's move to the next step. Once you have the EIN, you want to make sure you have everything assigned to your LLC. You want to use your EIN on your bank accounts, contracts, your Square accounts, your PayPal, Stripe, how your tax filing, to ensure that the brand income flows to your business entity and not your personal identity. This is how the EIN adds value. It adds credibility. Vendors, banks, and partners treat you as a legit business. Privacy. It protects your personal from your business being exposed unless you mix the two. Taxes. Needed to file your business taxes returns separately. That's what you're gonna need at EIN for scaling. Required for having employees, 401ks, retirement plans. So if you want to set yourself up like a major business, big business, like your Amazons, Facebooks, your all these damn companies, get your EIN and get your shit set up right. It's gonna set up your business credit. So it's gonna set it up where you can get your net 30 accounts and all this stuff in that nature set up to build your business's credit profile separate from your personal credit. Uh, Common mistakes to avoid: paying for EIN, like I said, using your social security number for your business dealings instead of your EIN, not updating the IRS if your LLC changes ownership or structure, losing your EIN confirmation letter. I always keep that shit with you. I always keep a copy on file. Your EIN is more than just a tax ID, it's your business passport. It lets you open accounts, build credit, legally separate your personal from your business identity, combine it with your LLC trademark copyrights, and you have a full framework to protect and grow your business. Alright. Let me get the other stuff going. Oh shit. Damn eyelash. Typing on the wrong damn keyboard. Trying to get better with my language too. We almost near the end. So once you get all this stuff set up, you can start doing stuff like this. Once you get everything set up for your company, from that point you can start paying yourself. You can start writing yourself checks. Um, paying yourself. Well, I mean, writing yourself checks, paying yourself as an employee for the actual work that you're actually doing for the company. Paying employees. What else? Then let's say appreciate that follow, Wade Janae. Appreciate that follow, Wade Janae. Once you get all this stuff set up, you can start getting into different things like I think stocks. Let's say we was talking about stocks and you got cash flow coming in. Yeah, thank you for that follow. You got good cash flow coming in. You start getting into stocks. This is not investment advice or financial advice. This is just for educational purposes. Let's say like you got income coming in, you can do a little something like this to get started. I think everybody say something like this. You know, you can get you like a little SPY. Start looking into that, educating yourself on SPY. It's a exchange traded fund. And what this is it's a bunch of it's a basket of companies. So it basically exposes you to a wide range of the market. Let me see if I can find it. See if I can find it. I don't see it. I don't see it. Basically, it has a few companies in there like Apple, I believe Apple, Target. Let me see. Let look it up. Let's look it up. I forgot. It's been so long. Alright. Yeah. So it got like Apple, Microsoft, um, Nvidia, Amazon, Meta or Facebook, Broadcom, Alphabet, which is Google, Tesla, Berkshire Hathaway, JP Morgan. It got all pretty much all the damn major companies in there. Pretty much all the major companies in here in SPY. And it's about what it says $650, $647 right now. It also pays a quarterly dividend. Quarterly dividend is every 3 months. So for every $600 that you spend, let's look at how much of a dividend it's paying. Dividends. I don't see no dividend history. Been so long since I got to all this stuff. Goddamn, my lash and my irritating the hell out of my eye. Alright, there we go. Okay. What month we in? September. I don't think this is updated. One to 25. 1 to 25. Oh, wrong one. Am I gonna have to go on my phone to find this shit? I think so. Bear with me. I'm finna find this dividend history. think I found. Uh, I believe it's like okay. I'm tripping. They dividend yield is like 1.1%, and if I'm not mistaken, it's gonna bring you back almost about 10% a year. So let's say like 10% of 650, what's that about like 60 something, 50, 60 something dollars? Say like 50, around like 50 something dollars, you're gonna get a return, not including your the actual value rising over time. I believe every 8 years or so you can average over eight plus return, 8+% return. But that's a good way to set your business up for like long term success by pairing your business income with a wealth management strategy like SPY or something, to where you could take a portion of your business income and invest it in a business asset like a stock like SPY, and keep building it up, building it up, building it up, building it up till you get to the point where they might actually you might get pulled from that to invest into something else, or reinvest into more stocks, or start investing into some property or pay a bill or things of that nature. That's one way to do it. Another good perk about having your business. Let me go and close all this out. Open this back up. This is another amazing thing about LLC. So with the LLC, the EIN and the LLC, all the stuff that you have set up, you could acquire a property. So when you get to this stage of like acquiring the properties and stuff, you get a little bit more complex. You want to make sure that you have a certain amount of income in your bank account set aside in escrow for if you decide to purchase like a property like this. Let's say if you was purchasing like a piece of this land, it's like $100,000 or whatever the case may be. You got like a quarter mil in your account. So you do a deal with them. You say you want to buy this. You want to make sure you got that quarter M in escrow, or that amount that they need in escrow. You want to have it set aside. You got to provide all your bank statements form. Send it over to your realtor, and then from there you'll be able to acquire a property and put it in your company's name. Same thing with cars, everything. Like same way you can do stuff in your personal name, you can do it in your business name. So you can buy a whole piece of property and build up an apartment complex or whatever the case it is that you're trying to do. Whatever the goal is that you want to do, is the sky. It ain't no fucking limit. I ain't gonna even say the sky's the limit. It's no fucking limit on what you can do with your company. It's all depending on you and how far you want to go. This America, man. It's the best thing about America. Best thing about America is, you know, you can be poor one day, and overnight you can become a multi-billionaire. It's all about what you put into this shit. You just got to keep going. Another thing that you can also do is, I think I said this earlier, but you can put all your insurance. Your LLC can own your insurance. Like let me clarify this. Your LLC can have business insurance. You can have that insurance inside of the company LLC. You can use that in a strategic way to grow the company, depending on the type of insurance it is. What's another thing? Insurance is one thing. It's one more thing. Slipped my mind. It's gonna come back to me. But yeah, insurance is one thing that you can have in the LLC. You got trademarks, you got copyrights, you got stocks, you got bonds. You can have bonds in there. Have crypto. Your LLC can hold your crypto, your real estate. What else? What else? Your cars, company cars. Oh, another thing is when you have business income, um, if you have good credit, that's a plus. They can help you grow your business credit even more. Don't have good credit, even if you do, like it's certain strategic ways that you can use your own cash flow to grow as well. So instead of, let's say you making like $100,000 a month, or let's say $10,000 a month on a lower scale, and you want to purchase a vehicle or something, or purchase something, put down on something, whatever the case may be, instead of getting a loan from the bank, you can actually loan yourself the money. That's a good strategic strategy. A good wealth building strategy is you can actually take your income and set it up as a loan structure with the correct documents to make sure you have the correct interest rates and everything, stuff like that. You might need some legal advice for, but you can set it up to where you can loan yourself the money and pay yourself off, and that way, instead of using the bank's money, you can use your own money. Like either way, it's cool. Me personally, I probably use my own. I still like using other people's money, but the that route is a good way to do it as well. You can do that with building credits for building a establishing a credit history for yourself, and establishing a you can do that with establishing credit history for credit and loans. So that's a good way. Personal or business, you can do that same method. One more other thing, it's very important with business. Let's see. I be trying to make sure I hit every point. Also, I do provide consultations. $150 consultations I provide, and I go a whole lot more in depth on everything that I'm talking about. Sit down, get you right. Sit down, get you all the way right with the business. Everything is just gonna be on you, and bringing in cash flow, working for your business, building it the best you can build it. But I think that's everything. I know it's one more thing, but probably add it in somewhere else, another video, some other time, if it don't come to me. So I went over everything. It's stocks. Same way you could pull from your own money, loan yourself money, loan yourself credit. You can do the same thing with your stocks. You do the same thing with your insurance. It's a lot of different stuff. You can do your bonds, all that stuff. You can also hire your kids as employees, put them on the payroll, set it up, give them a job, and get them a job, have them set up for success. It's just a lot of ways that you can maximize it in general. Hmm. If I didn't say with that with setting up that business account, you will need your personal ID or your passport. And you always want to make sure that you set aside money when you got cash flow coming in. Set aside your tax amounts. Take care of your taxes. That's very important. Very important part of business. Don't bullshit. But there's a lot of tips that you can use that are allowed. It's just, if you need to holler at me about that, don't be scared to reach out to me. Hop up in the Discord. We set up a consultation call. Really just log in. Get you locked all the way in. Yeah, I can't remember. That shit slipped my mind. But yeah. So you want to set up a LLC? As you can see, the fees. Like, this is just one place out of many other places that do it as well. You can also go to your state secretary and get that set up. State filing fees, whatever the state filing fee costs. Then when using companies like this, they're gonna charge a fee as well. Like I said, like with setting up the trademark, you can use your social media accounts and websites to get a trademark. Also, you can do like sound marks as well. Sound marks is to copyright a sound. Like if you got a unique sound that you have for your company, like our AT&T, Yahoo, and all them had done for years, you can trademark a sound mark. Everything that you have an asset, all the music, the videos, everything will go into your company, your LLC. That's how a lot of these major figures had their stuff set up, from like Kobe Bryant, Kevin Hart, all these different people. They had this stuff set up like that. Leave even streamers like Castanet and XQC and it's a bunch of people that's really growing their business, building their businesses. One more thing that I left out: trade secrets. That's the last thing. I knew I forgot something. It's one more other thing too, but it slipped my mind. But we're gonna go over trade secrets real quick. All right, since we covered everything else, let's talk about these trade secrets. Trade secrets can be just as valuable as a trademark or a copyright. They're protected in a very different way. Trade secret is any confidential business information that gives your company a competitive advantage. What that means is if you have something that your company does that nobody else does in any form, it's called a trade secret. If it's helping you make money, or it's like a, let's say, like a secret recipe, or certain way you do music, that's your trade secret on how you protect, like stuff like that. You really want to protect. What is a trade secret? A trade secret is any confidential business information that gives your business a competitive advantage, like your recipes, algorithms, manufacturing processing, customer list, suppliers, business strategies. The key is to keep it secret and provide economic value. How do they differ from other IP? The trade secret is not registered. Protection lasts as long as it remains a secret. So the protection lasts forever if you keep it a secret forever. Patents, they expire after 25 years. Trademarks, we already went over that. After you do the first 5 to 6 years, at least once or twice, it's every 10 years. Copyrights, long ass time. Damn near until you die and a little bit after. A few years after. Uh, the requirements for trade secret protection. Not generally known to the public. It provides competitive advantage, subject to reasonable measures to keep it a secret. The ways that you protect trade secrets could go when stuff about to get real. This how I'm moving. Hard head make a soft ass. I learned when people and other companies they took off with my ideas and my things and they bringing it to the masses. Because you miss steps like this when it's very important. No matter how big or small you are, it's very important to do this stuff. You want to use non-disclosure agreements, which is an NDA, what everybody know about, with employees, partners, contractors, anybody you doing business with. You want to use your confidentiality clauses in your contracts, limit access to the information to a need to know basis, secure documents with passwords, encryptions, and restricted assets, train employees on confidential practices. What else? Enforcement of your trade secrets is governed by your state law, Uniform Trade Secrets Act, and the Federal Defend Trade Secrets Act. If someone steals your trade secret, you can sue their ass. Somebody steal your trade secret, you can sue. For injunctions, court orders to stop use or disclosure, monetary damages, lost profits, unjust enrichment, in extreme cases, criminal penalties. How trade secrets make money, competitive edge. Give your company a unique value. Let's say like Coca-Cola, never needing a patent, or like Nike or Adidas with controlling the majority of the market share of players in the league, entertainment industry, people like football, basketball, all them things of that nature. All of it is entertainment, no matter what their ass feel to believe. Entertainment industry and Nike, Adidas, they kind of cover a wide range of their market, and it's obvious. Licensing and partnerships. Ensure trade secrets under controlled agreements for royalties. Increase business valuations. Investors buy a value company with unique know-how. Longevity. Unlike patents, trade secrets last indefinitely as long as they remain confidential. So it can last forever. Common mistakes to avoid: calling something a trade secret but not actually protecting it. Not using NDAs and confidentiality agreements. Sharing too much with vendors and contractors. Forgetting that once information is public, it loses the trade secret status. Trade secrets are invisible assets. They don't require registration, but they can be the most valuable property of a business. Protect them with your contracts, confidentiality, and good practice, and they can provide long-lasting competitive advantages and long-term wealth. So the trade secret is how your business operate, how you making that damn money, what you doing to bring it in compared to everybody else. That's what that trade secret is. I think I'm gonna end it right here. You might hop on guy for a little bit. Yeah, like here you go. For example, let's say like trade secrets. KFC got special chicken. They chicken ain't like nobody else. Coca Cola ain't no telling what's in the Coke, man. WD 40, that's special. Twinkies, all that different type of stuff. New York Times bestseller, all that different type of stuff. If you tapped in with me, you tuned in. Appreciate you for listening. I know there was a lot. You know, another time I go into it a little bit deeper, a little bit expanded, like with consultations and other type of stuff that I'm gonna release. It can get a whole lot more complex than what I had mentioned. Like I said again, everything is for educational purposes only. Not legal advice, not business advice. Just my personal experience and educational purposes only. Shit like that I had just put up. I suggest any streamer that's really getting to that bag, they lock the fuck in this shit right there. This shit right there gonna pay out a long time. All you gotta do is spend on the goddamn cash flow coming and rolling. Hit me up. Go ahead, hit me up for sure. Got some shit for you. Got some major shit for you. All type of shit. If you bro. Get my DM shit. It's cool. A lot of valuable information pertaining to a lot of shit. Moms, dads, marriages, some of everything. Business.
Check the gear and weapons. We'll be deploying shortly. Head for it. Enemy destroyed. Duty tank.
call it. Make me some more content. Or me some content. Hey, thank y'all tuning in, checking in with a Mac.